on your airway with Guy Reschenthaler a couple weeks ago. He's a great congressman from Washington County.
Yep.
And we were talking about bail, but it also played into your question. And what I said was, congressman's number one job is to bring money into its constituents in its area. And so I thought we could hire more probation officers for house arrest. Now, listen how this would work. Not only do we solve the bond issue, because you have the liberals saying they all should be out of jail, then you have the conservatives that say they should all be in jail. This still has them monitored. They can then be monitored for drug treatment, but you need that federal money that filters down through the state to the county. So that's number one. Number two, education and training. While people are on house arrest or monitoring, probation, in whatever sense, particularly house arrest, you could have it so that judges could enforce requirements such as job training or job programming or learning more about their situation and what has happened. Now, that's in the criminal justice world. But if we take a step back and we just say, how can they do it in the world that we grow up in and every day? Rob, you were a decade early talking about vocation. You said on these airwaves 10, 12 years ago, why does every kid need to go to college? Why can't we have more vocational schools? And why can't we we don't have enough plumbers, contractors? I grew up in the trades, right? Why don't we have young men? It doesn't mean you're going to stay in the trades, but mixing mortar and laying block and brick and stone and operating heavy equipment when I was 15 years old, the things that it taught me are just, it's unbelievable. You have a great life. We got to teach these young people those types of things, but it comes down to money. Once again, so have these vocational schools for these young men and women that want to have interest in that. We're the mega hub of IT, right? CMU. Same thing, but let's direct it more towards a younger generation of folks. Have it so that whenever Donald Trump has an IT person of his board, that they direct monies from Congress to be set up in all these major top 20 cities, particularly the inner cities, saying, okay, we have high schools, but those high schools, if you want to do after, school programs for IT, learning how to code so that we can keep up with this AI. The problem, I truly believe this. I said this my whole life. Money problems are easy because if you write a check, they could go away. And this isn't a money problem. This is a problem because we have a lot of money in this country. This is a problem of ideas. We don't have big picture people like we had years ago, as many of them. And if we do, they just want to feed into the private industry and pad their pocketbook. I don't, and it's not just so much a donation, but it's more of creativity. When we had the Renaissance too, think of all the great names that were a part of it. Think about all the great governors that we've had. Thornburg, Ridge, Corbett, Flaherty, Forrester for commissioners, Supreme Court justices, Pala. We need those creative minds that care about the population and have big ideas. And so the money will come. You got to have the idea and you got to get folks to buy into it. But that's how we help our youth.